So this is one of those skills that I think is so important, is just spotting the puck. So being able to come out of a turn where we put the puck to an area we would get to later.
Right.
Or it could be through a stick, through a turn.
Yeah.
You're kind of spotting it through that triangle. So the skill we're working on is essentially this one, where we go like that, spot that puck, and then gather it coming out of the turn.
Yeah.
Okay. And for this one, we use 2 pucks. So what I like to do is I put 1 puck ahead. When we're doing the spotting, I like having the puck there because it forces you to time your move accordingly. We're always going to do it in front of that puck, and we want to do it so that we're actually pulling it wide, looking like we're faking forehand, and then we tuck it in and turn. Okay, so we'll go around a little circle here. So it starts like this. We'll make that fake, tuck it in, grab that next puck, make that fake, tuck it in, grab that next puck, and we're just constantly spotting that puck as we go throughout our turns here. And just getting used to pulling those hands across the body, putting the weight on that puck we need to get to the area that we need to, and then we could just take a shot at the end.
So typically when I'm running a camp, we'll just sort of break it down into classes. So like the first hour is skating, some form of skating. Next hour, it's only just stick handling. The next hour is just shooting. And then they come for the next day. First hour is skating agility with pucks. And we'll add something in like this. The second hour, we'll do some form of deking, where we're deking pylons. And then later they'll deke each other. And then the third hour is some sort of offensive, defensive battling. And then we finish with like game tactics and a little bit of a mini game. We could either do this in the stick handling hour, or we'll apply it in the deking hour. In the deking, we'll say, yes, if these 2 pucks are 2 players, we have the option of doing a stop and cut, and we'll be able to maybe keep the puck on our stick, or we have that option of placing the puck into a space. Another way I'll teach it is, if this is where you are and you want my puck, I don't place it where you are, I place it where you're not. I'm just placing it into a space where you're not. And we have 2 ways of doing that. One in which I can keep the blade and the puck attached, and one in which I can separate them. If I'm slipping it in between, if I'm tucking it around you, or something like that.
Progressions, regressions, always just like, see where they're at. If they're struggling with the basics of just like putting the body between the puck and the defender, or putting yourself between the defender and the puck, that's something you want to emphasize before going on to the next one. It's tough in cancer, you're monitoring 25, 30 kids, whatever, to see where they're at, each individual, right? So you kind of take the collective and just try and reinforce those things, but like give the option to regress if they're struggling with that. I always like doing that, because then if they're in the lower tier of they're struggling more within that skill, they have an option to tackle that specific thing that that needs targeting, and then you give the option to progress for those kids who are a little more advanced. With the amount of kids on the ice, that's the best way to ensure that kids aren't going too fast, because if you're like messing up at the start of something, there's no point in progressing. Their mistakes are always going to fall back to what they were not being able to do at first. So just giving those options is fantastic. So this is one I use for another area play where we're doing crossovers and we're faking high speed and then putting the puck to an area. Just another drill where it's so important to allow the puck to go to a space we know we're going to get to first. To accomplish the fake. So if I'm going from the weak side here, my backhand side, in a crossover, for this one, as I do these crossovers, I'm going to release to that one hand, put it to an area, get onto later, add that bottom hand protection if it's necessary. Again, the biggest mistake speed-wise, if people are making this move, is trying to receive it too early. They actually don't get to where they want to get to too fast. So if you're the defender on me, if I rush to receive this pass coming out of it, I go like that. And now I have to stop my feet. I'm not able to clear distance laterally. You have access to the puck more. And that's the biggest mistake I see with kids on these fakes. They're in a rush to receive it. And sometimes you've got to just allow the puck to go and get to it later. Right? So common in top speed moves to put pucks to area, because your deception is your speed, not your stick handling. It's always like you're a threat because you have more speed than them going that way. So if I can get you to like turn your feet or shift your weight this side, I'm going to get to that puck faster.
Much sooner. Can you show it from the other side as well too, if you're cutting to my left, I guess?
So if I'm going my strong side, so this way I would be going from the forehand. This one's kind of just like a backhand bump. Or I backhand bump it
Cool.
2 hands stay on. That's a tough one. And
Yeah.
I notice a lot of kids, they'll struggle just because they forget to rotate the blade.
Okay.
So they'll go like this and then they'll like pop up or whatever. But also just putting the puck to an area on the backhand is a lot
Yes.
tougher than the one hand release. So important to just like, you know, get kids practicing just like weight shift,
Yeah.
bump, and get there.
Your body says you're going this way, and then boom, you cut the other way.
Everything I teach, I always love to say, like, everything's situational. Go, you want to put the puck 3 meters off the body. Not only Americans won't understand that, but other kids probably won't understand either. If you're deeper as the defender, I won't have that much angle of attack there. I got to see how far inside you are. I basically want to make it so that where I put that puck, I have the best route to the net I can while protecting. So puck protection, always #1 priority. But then after that, it's like, well, I want enough space to, when I receive this puck, be able to net drive.
Okay.
If I can.
Yeah, of course.
A lot of times it's not possible, and I'll only get deep and be able to cut out, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But you got to just read the situation and see what your best options are.
Yeah. Okay. Beautiful.
So there you have it. Those are 2 drills to just put the puck to an open area, one at a little bit of a slower speed directional changes, and one at more of a top speed inside crossover.
I love them both. Thank you so much for your knowledge. Thank you so much for the drills. Yeah, I'm sure everyone's benefiting so much, just as much as I am. So thank you again.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You got it, buddy.